Okay, so as I just said in my Arc 27 video, I loved Arc 28. I could not put this shit down. It is there's a lot of tropes that I like, but two off the top of my head that are literally the exact opposite of each other. One is building your party and kind of getting the band back together. It's why I love Cold Steel 2 so much, even though Cold Steel 2 has its problems. There's a lot of things in the game's narrative that don't quite work. I can't even say don't hold up under scrutiny, because not even scrutinizing it, I'm like, this is just on its face, this is kind of dumb. But I liked it anyways, and a lot of it is just that first half, first third of I'm getting my squad back. Worm 28 isn't exactly getting the squad back, because it's not like, oh shit, the Undersiders have been, trapped in the four quarters of the earth, I gotta get everyone back or anything. It's more just everyone. It is a lot of characters who've showed up throughout the story, a lot of enemies, which is kind of like a subtrope of this I do enjoy as well. It's recruiting your enemies into your party. And the opposite trope, I don't know if this is something that's going to happen, but it could, is the dwindling party. When you're at the finale and you've got a nice sized party, and then slowly but surely it goes down, down, down until you got 1 to 2 people left. Doesn't necessarily have to be because they die. I look at the Tower of Salvation and Symphonia, which is where my love of this trope comes from. And it's not because everyone's dying, it's because, alright, I gotta stay behind and help with this shit. Well, this trap got me, but you all keep going and shit. I love that. No idea if that happens in Worm. I kind of hope it doesn't. But it's shit that I love. So, the arc starts with Taylor waking up in the hospital. Her body is fixed. Figures, Amy probably helped me. Dear God, I hope it wasn't Bones. And there's this, blonde girl just sitting in there talking to her, who has been kind of watching her, making sure she's all right, and that's Canary. And it's is this the first time we've seen her since her interlude? Maybe she was referenced to Dragon's interlude, I don't remember. And when we saw everyone leave the birdcage, I didn't notice her, or maybe she was there and I just wasn't sure who the fuck it was. But here's Canary. I'm oh cool, she actually gets to do something. Wait. Hold up. I don't remember if it's this arc or if it was in 27 and I missed it. I need to check something real quick. Never mind, it is in this arc. Sorry, I was just wait a second. There's this thing that kept coming up and I don't remember if it was here or here. It was here. Anyways, Canary tells her, it's yeah, this is what happened. You had a whole lot of people in there that were making sure you were okay. It was Panacea that fixed you. At one point, Gru stepped in. Or maybe it was Panacea who said that later. There's a point where Taylor kind of learns that. There was a point when Gru stepped in and took over for Panacea, copied her powers so he could heal Taylor. And after that, he left. He's I can't do this shit anymore. I am retiring. I'm not going to help with the final boss. I'm just going to go retire in a nice cottage somewhere with my girlfriend. I'll fucking see you guys. And there were a couple of thoughts that went through my head at once. Number one is just, poor dude, enjoy your retirement, Gru. Man, you've been through a lot of shit. You've seen a lot of shit. You've earned it, my guy. Number two is, there was a point, I don't know when, I feel like it was probably pretty early on, when I was man, kind of what I was saying about Clockblocker in the last video. I was this dude is so cool, and he's had such a big influence on Taylor. It's kind of only a matter of time before he dies, and while he didn't, his second trigger event is about as close to that as it could have been without actually killing him. I mean, I guess if he was in a coma or something, but you kind of know what I mean. And now I'm at a point where I'm he might be the only member of the crew to survive the story. And I just think that's an interesting shift. Number three is me also kind of saying, remember when he was a character? Because he hasn't done much. I've noticed since I came back from my worm break, which was Arc 16, that was Coil, It's like, okay, he did some shit in Coil's arc. I'll give him that one. 17, no one was in it. 18, which is Echidna Part 1, he does some, but not a whole lot. 19, he's explicitly evacuated pretty early on. 20, that's basically all Taylor, like no one else is really in it. 21, he gets his one scene. It's a very good scene, but he really only gets his one scene. 22, he's not in it. 23, he's not in it. 24, he gets to be there for a bit, and then again, he's evacuated from the battlefield and isn't there when shit really hits the fan. 25, he's not in it. 26, he gets like a scene or two. 27, he was barely in it. 28, he's not in it. Like, man, Brian is just like in the first half. Like, again, like if this were a show, Brian would probably get like second or third billing. In the second half of the story, he's like at the very end of the credits when it's like, and blah 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 as Brian, like kind of thing. I'm like, I get it. My man went through a lot. He is not the same person. Like, he can't always be on the front lines and shit anymore. But I miss Brian. I'm happy for him. I hope he enjoys his retirement. But I miss him. Like after that, like the Undersiders come into the room, they talk to her. I think that's when they're like, yeah, Gru patched you up, Gru dipped. This is what we got. Here's all the crazy shit going on in the world. Like, teacher, like, actually, I think I wrote it down. There's like all the crazy shit going on. Yeah, it's like, all right, we got the Irregulars are fighting Cauldron, and I mean, we get it, but come on, there's a time and place. Teacher hijacked one of the portals, like the one we did a lot of work in. The Yongbon are just attacking a bunch of settlements because they're being petty and territorial. Dragon is still out of commission. Defiant has Saint in custody, and there's or maybe something we could do there. There's a bunch of other shit just going on that isn't going right. Man, humanity's just fucked. And they had this interesting conversation where, like, I didn't, like, when it came to the end of the world, I didn't think it would be because we destroyed ourselves. And I don't know, like, what the fuck do we do? And like, alright, well, I don't know, do we have any petty beefs we want to take care of here at the end of the world? Not really. So what do we do? I guess we go save it. A couple things I want to say about this section. And this kind of applies to the entire arc in general. Number one, Imp is so fucking funny in this arc. Like, she's a genuinely funny character. And a lot of that was like her interactions with Regent were fucking gold. And now that I feel like now it's like that I'm seeing her, not in her early iteration when she was very much... I didn't really like Imp at first. I found her kind of annoying, like, come on, big brother, like, I'm a badass too. Like, no, this shit is fucking dangerous. But I've got a power and it's super useful, which it is. It's like, yeah, but if it gets circumvented and it can be circumvented, you're fucked. Which one, like, thinking about it too, you're like, alright, so given how Cherish's power works, like, she was totally unaffected by Imp, and given that Jack's secondary power, also totally unaffected by Imp. It's like, yeah, she didn't leave a great impression, but the more I got to, like, experience her character, and again, the interactions with Regent did a lot. Now, without Regent to play off of, she's still incredibly funny, and I feel like I'm appreciating just how funny she can be by herself. She was gold, and, like, the little bit I've seen of her in Arc 27 already, like, the whole bit with Rachel, like, not being able to read, was really funny. The other thing I wanted to say is, this reminded me of one of my favorite scenes from Muv-Luv, which you may or may not know, is one of my favorite works of fiction. It is, to go as non-spoilery as possible, it is before Operation Cherry Blossom, which is the finale of Muv-Luv Alternative. The main character and some of his surviving friends are at this one spot that they pretty frequently go to. It's this tree, and it's a memorial for like all of their fallen soldiers. And they're sitting there and they're talking about their final mission. And also talking about it's like, well, if we're about to go out on the field and like this is it, we should probably, like write our wills and like our last thoughts and all that kind of shit. And the main character, my boy Takeru, saying like, no, don't talk like that. I don't even want to hear it. Like, if you've got anything that you want to say to me, save it till after the mission. If you've got anything you want to write, don't tell me. Don't tell anybody. Just take care of your business. I don't want anybody raising any death flags, okay? We're going in. We're kicking ass. We're making it out. All of us are making it out. And as his friends just kind of nod and go their separate ways, it's him and one other member of the cast. This is I think this is Suzumiya, who's so badly injured that she can't take place in the final battle. And she looks at him and tells him, she's like, "Hey, as your like superior officer, I have one last order for you. Go save humanity." And he like salutes back at her and just tells her, "I will." And you might not be able to tell, like, I'm tearing up. I don't know why. Like, my eyes are super, like, I don't know why that scene always gets me. The first time I saw it, I cried. But I watched Clay play quite a bit of alternative. I didn't see every scene. There were a lot of times I cried the second time through because, holy fuck, alternative hurts. I cried when I got to that scene. And for some reason, like, talking about it, it makes me tear up. Now, this scene in Worm did not make me tear up, but it had that very similar vibe. And Taylor just saying, I just want to save us. Like, I understand humanity's flaws. We are very flawed, and maybe we don't deserve it. Maybe the world is better if we are all exterminated like roaches, but I want us to live. I want to save humanity. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Let's fucking go. And then Canary joins the party. She's like, all right. She's like, I'm not really a fighter. I'm sorry. Like, partly it's my power, partly it's my character. I don't know. And Taylor's like, look, dude. If I'm not gonna force you to fight, I'm not going to force you to do anything. Just think of it like this. If everything comes to an end, if we lose, and we really might, I want you to be able to say that you did everything you could. I don't want us to be in a situation where you're saying, fuck, I could have helped there at the end, but I wasn't there. And if you feel like you will not think that, don't come. I get it. But if you genuinely think there's something, even if it's just for like morale, I think it's worth it. So Canary joins the party. I'm like, all right, where are we going first? Let's go see Colin. So they go see Colin and Narwhal and Saint. And Narwhal is this like, sorry, I'm like thinking of Steven Universe because she's a giant woman. She's like 7 feet tall, wearing this like skin tight suit. Taylor's like, she's barely wearing clothes. She's not even wearing a bra, and there's somehow no jiggle physics. The fact that they specifically pointed out how she has like no jiggle physics because she uses her barriers to like keep her boobs in place. I was like, sure, dog. Like, I guess I'll take the fan service. I don't know, like I got kind of a good laugh out of that. It's like, all right, if the story is gonna note this part, I guess I gotta note this part too. This is the thing, Saint is in custody, and he's gonna give his spiel about how it's like, guys, Dragon is an AI. If you've ever seen any movie ever, you know that's a problem. Tattletale's like, okay, fuck you, I think you're an idiot. Yeah, she's an AI. Most of us know it's not a big deal. They talk about Teacher and his relationship with Teacher and how Teacher would like give him the ability to understand Dragon's code because Saint doesn't have any powers, but Teacher can turn someone into a thinker and kind of a tinker. I don't remember if it's just a thinker or if he can turn someone into either or. So essentially, Saint would get like a hit of that, could understand shit, wouldn't be able to understand anymore, and had to go back and sound. It's like, you're a fucking addict. Oh, your shit is because you're a druggie. Oh, I pity you, you dumb idiot. So this is shit that's going on, and Defiant's like, I just want him to rot in his cell. I fucking hate this guy. I mean, I could help. No, but you need everyone you can. No, not you. Defiant, we could really use him. I know, just let me have this, okay? I don't know, I thought that was kind of gold. What they decide to do... Oh, they also mentioned to Canary how Dragon did everything. Like, Dragon can't go against her orders. That's part of her programming. She did everything she could to try to get you out of the birdcage, and she puts you at the top of the list of anyone who could get out. The reason you're out is because of Dragon. It's not because anyone else was like, hey, we could really use Canary. It's because of Dragon. And Canary's like, oh, thank you. Like, I feel so bad. And they talk about how she doesn't have any armor, and Saint's like, I can give you a Dragon Slayer outfit. She's like, I feel so bad if I did that. Defiant's like, it's cool. It's cool. You gotta protect yourself. So their plan is Teacher, like him going into another universe and hijacking it. That was all a smokescreen. He's going after Dragon, so he can bring her back and kind of do what he needs with her. They don't plan to stop him because it's like, okay, if he brings back Dragon, that saves us the trouble of having to do it. If he hurts Dragon, because like they're like, what do we do? How do we do this? And Rachel's just like, I mean, if he's gonna fix her, just let him fix her. But what if he hurts her? Then you fuck him up for hurting her. Duh. Like, I don't understand why this is so complicated. So that's their plan there. Saint joins the party, and then they head out to get the next person. I believe this is when they went to go see Amy. If you seek Amy, damn it. This is when they go to see Amy, and she is with her dad, just healing people. Marquis is healing people's bones. Amy's just like, all right, hold out your hand. Heal, 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 heal. Bonesaw is with her because she has to check Bonesaw's work. And then Taylor's like, all right, yo, what's good, Amy? You want to join the final party? No, not particularly. Like, I've said it several times. Panacea is my favorite character. I've said it several times. The reason she is my favorite character is I find her like mentality really interesting, and she's such an interesting foil to Taylor. I love how Taylor gives her the same spiel she gave to Canary, which is, look, I don't want us to be in a situation where we need you, but you weren't there on the front lines to help. And she's like, fair enough. I also don't want there to be a situation where after the fight I was needed and I couldn't be there because I fucking died. I'm not going to be able to help fight Scion. I don't think I could even get close to him. And 2, even if I did, I don't think my power would work on him. Like, sure, I could be there on the front lines healing, but I think I'm better served back here helping everyone else and can take care of everyone after everything's done. Also, Bonesaw's here, and I can't leave her because no one trusts her. I don't trust her, but she deserves a second chance, I guess. Like, if we're gonna give the monster a second chance, I'm gonna let her make the most of it. She gets 1. If she fucks up 1 time, I mean, I guess that's not getting 1. Getting this, us giving you the second chance is your 1. After this, if she fucks up, she's gone. Like, we are taking care of her. Like, I took care of all of her improvements to her body. She is a regular ass person now. And if she fucks up, she won't even be a person anymore. But, I can't go. I've got shit I gotta do. But she, buffs some of Taylor's bugs, gives them, like, the super relay powers. There's this one bit when they first start talking, and Taylor's like, hey, I heard you fixed me. Thank you. I owed you one. You know, back when everything was going on with the 9, you stuck up for me. You helped. It didn't work, but you tried. So, I owe you. Yeah, like, after Amy fixes, like, buffs her bugs, she wants to shake hands, and Taylor's like, I don't know if I want to shake hands with Panacea. Like, that's kind of scary. And Amy notices the hesitation, but Taylor shakes her hand anyways. Like, I don't know, I thought that was kind of fun. And after that, Lung shows up, and Tattletale's like, hey, Lung, we're going to go fight Scion, we're going to go fight the Endbringer, we're going to fight the Yangbon. And Lung just is like, don't try to manipulate me. If you want me to join, just ask. I'm in. Lung joined the party! And then after that, they go to grab Sophia. It was like, dude, I don't want to fucking do this. And Lung's like, she uses a crossbow. She looks weak as shit. Let's not take her. But Shadowstalker joins the party. They kind of bully her into joining. There's this line. I don't remember when Lung says it. I don't even remember what the line is. I think it's when they're trying to recruit the next character. Like, get into that shit in a second. But there's something he says, and then Taylor's just like, that's like, very wise. Well said, Lung. And he just responds with, do not talk to me. And that cracked me up. Like, I just imagine he's like, I don't want the world to end, so I'm gonna do this shit. Also, I want to fight Scion and beat his ass. This is an alliance of convenience. Do not talk to me, because I will snap and I will fucking kill you. And she's like, alright, bet. I will not say another word to this asshole. The thing I wanted to bring up earlier, where I was like, hey, should I have brought this up in 27? Is Taylor's pepper spray. Because I noticed they brought it up a couple times. Like, the author, Wildbow. There's a couple times where I think it was first in 27 when she's like getting all her shit together for the first fight. She grabs the pepper spray. They noted again in 28. She's getting her pepper spray. And I don't know if that's just it's just like a neat little thing. Like, yeah, it was what she had on day 1, so she has it again on the last day. It's just kind of a fun bookend. Or if it's like, no. It's been highlighted multiple times. It's now Chekhov's gun. It's Chekhov's pepper spray. And I'm just thinking to myself, dude, no. Does she fucking pepper spray Scion and it works? Because that would be literally the funniest thing. All of these it is literally some Baldur shit where, he's invincible to all these powers and all this shit, but Mistletoe kills him. Like, I am this immortal god, basically, and, like, most of your powers ain't doing shit. Mace, motherfucker! Like, I don't know. Like, that's so funny if that works. Anyways, they go to recruit the next character. So in Arc 27, during the big meeting of the minds, Faultline's like, I don't know, can we just, like, talk to Scion and try? And then Lisa's like, yeah, good idea, idiot. Like, hey, I mean, first off, fuck you too, Tattletale. I love that I have no idea why they hate each other. I think it makes it way funnier. But, she's like, I mean, Kevin Norton talked to, I don't remember if they even know him, but it's like, hey, people have talked to Scion before and got him to do shit. Jack talked to him and got him to do shit. Could it work again? Like, I don't think it'll work. I don't think that'll work. And then Lisa's like, talking to the monster is maybe not the worst idea, but that's not the monster I'm thinking of. So they go to the Seamerg, and they go to an Endbringer, and they start talking to her, and everyone's like, this is stupid. This is so batshit insane, and it works. Canary starts singing, and Lisa's trying to, like, get a rise out of the Endbringer and be like, hey, I don't know what your relationship with Edelon was, but he was kind of Papa, and he was your opponent, and now you're all depressed that he's gone, and Sion did it. Come on and help us fight Zion, baby. And, it works. They have an Endbringer, and it's like, as they're on their ship, she's just like floating behind them, and then when they get off the ship, she's still just floating behind them. And there's this scene when it's our 4 Undersider girls all talking to each other, and Im's like, hey, when I was a kid, I used to watch these like really shitty kids movies where, like, the kid would, take a dog from an abusive owner, and they'd have that scene where, the abusive owner's over here, and the kid's over here, the dog's in the middle, and the dog goes to the abusive owner who says some fucked up shit, or, indicates the abuse is going to continue, then the dog goes to the kid. We're basically doing that, except none of us want the dog. And they all start walking in different directions to see who the Seabird follows, and it just follows Lisa, and she goes, fuck, I didn't want it to be me. And Taylor's going, fuck, I kind of wanted it to be me. And the entire time, I'm just thinking of Pokemon. Like, Soul Silver in particular. Although there are other games you can do this with too. Like, I know you can do it in the Crown Tundra and shit. Where you can just have a Pokemon following behind you. And that's what this is like. It's like when you catch Lugia or Ho-Oh in Soul Silver and you're just like chilling in New Barktown with the fucking legendary behind you. Or if you transferred Arceus, you're like, yeah, here's God. Right on my back. And I highly doubt this exists. But I was like, I want to see art of Lisa, which is, like, I don't super know what she looks like. Like, I've seen different kind of bits of art of her. But, like, a picture of Lisa wearing a Pokemon trainer outfit. I don't know which one specifically, but I don't know, maybe like Dawn's or Serena's or some shit. With like, with the fucking Seamer behind, like holding like an Ultra Ball or like a Master Ball or some shit. With the Seamer behind her. And in my head, it is the funniest shit. I loved how the Seamer joined the party. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I mean that in the best possible way. This is so insane. This is what people talk about. They say worm, and it's batshit crazy escalation. There's a scene later where the Seamer, she's like making this short sword, and then she comes across Leviathan, fucking stabs Leviathan in his core. Like, did she just kill Leviathan? What the fuck? And then Leviathan gets up with like these like razor sharp fins and shit. It's like, she just buffed him. She just like stabbed in his core, tinkered around, and fixed her brother. What the fuck? This is so cool. It's so I don't want to say stupid, because it's not stupid. It's kind of silly and goofy, and like this is what Worm should be. It's a superhero story. There's powers. There's insane shit. You want to have fun with it. You want to do goofy shit. It's so good. Let's see. What are some of the other things I wanted to say? Saving humanity, hanging out with best girl Amy, Shadowstalker, the Seamer, the Endbringers joined the party. Oh yeah, just Dr. Mother's reaction to seeing the fucking Endbringers. Just, what the fuck is this? Seamer follows Lisa like a Pokemon. And then after that, Taylor's story ends with her visiting a bunch of people. She goes to see... Fuck, who was it that she saw first? Oh yeah, it was Charlotte. She goes to see Charlotte, Forrest, and the kids. I don't think Aiden was there, but she saw like most of the kids. They were offered powers by Cauldron. They said no, probably the smart decision. Says their goodbyes to them. Then she goes to see Glenn, and Kaye is there too, and he's cool as shit. I really like this guy. I like both of them a lot. And they had a cool conversation. I liked it. And then she goes to see Miss Militia. And, you know, a bunch of the wards are watching a movie, and like some of the kids and Imp and Rachel are there, and Imp's having a good time. Rachel's like, this movie's fucking stupid, I hate it. And she writes her a letter. She's like, hey, I started writing you a letter once and I never finished it, and maybe I should have, but I'm gonna finish it now. I've always wanted to be a hero, and I'm not very good at it, but I think I'm best somewhere in between. But even like in between with the bad shit I've done, I don't regret trying to help people. Like there's regrets I have, but I don't regret helping people. You are a genuine inspiration to me. Thank you for the things that you have taught me and for being the kind of person you are. And then she goes back to see Lisa. The Seamerg is singing her a lullaby. Like, oh boy, that's probably not good. And that's how Taylor's story ends. The interlude is Dr. Mother's interlude, but it's less about Dr. Mother and just more of her watching shit and like kind of seeing from other people's perspective. Like you see the Seamerg just singing and planning some shit and seeing all of reality, the past and the present and the future. I'm like, what the fuck? This is kind of neat. Sees Chevalier having a party with the Protectorate members, also like almost blasting Ingenue with his cannon blade. Like having to deal with that shit. Legend is going to be his second in command for the final fight. He's also going to be using Endbringer parts to reinforce his weapons. That sounds cool as shit. Defiant, Saint, and Canary meet up with Teacher, who gives them back Dragon. He's like, okay, good news, brought her back, no issues. Better news, I fucked with her code only a tiny bit, just so she won't hurt me or anyone I designate. That's it. Otherwise, she's completely fine. You tampered with my girlfriend, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I mean, come on, dude. You think I'm not gonna put in a safeguard? That's reasonable. And then, what was it with Saint? He's like, okay, Defiant's pissed at me because I hurt Dragon. You're pissed at me because I didn't kill Dragon. Somehow I picked the route that pissed everyone off, even though it's the most illogical thing. There's this one thing I think Saint says to him was like, you know, like you're no better than your word. And he's like, I'm actually quite better than my word, or something. It's like, what was the line? I hope I wrote it down. Actually, no, I didn't, because I didn't write down anything from the interlude. I just like typed it and didn't actually physically write it. But it was something like that, like I'm a great deal better than my word. It's like I'm as good as my threats, or something like that. And he also is like you're a fool. Oh, trust me, I'm no fool. Like actually getting to see Teacher interact with some of these other characters, like okay, I actually kind of like this dude. Like believe it or not, I don't want to see the world end. But Dragon comes back on. She's like, Colin, they hurt me, and I'm not gonna lie. I want to hurt him back, and I want to make them pay. And he's like, babe, I know, and I will do everything I can to make them hurt. Just know, I love you. I love you too. I don't think they actually said I love you, but maybe they did, and I don't remember it. But I feel like between the two, it's implied. Like I love their relationship. It's genuinely really sweet. Like I just like these characters a lot. It's back to Dr. Mother, who was using, I don't remember his name, but like one of her other dudes to like watch a bunch of people. And then the irregulars are there in her office. They said they took care of Contessa, and I'm like, I wonder about that. Because they don't say that they killed her. They said that they beat her, and I'm like, okay. Given the way Contessa's power works and like seeing the path to victory, if they beat her, I am genuinely assuming that's all part of her plan. And it's like, hey, I needed to lose here for blah, blah, blah reasons. Weld and the irregulars have Dr. Mother cornered. And he's like, I want some questions answered. And most of the others are like, actually, we want to fucking kill her and torture her. And he's like, I can't let you do that. That's not what we agreed to. Weld, the only reason we agreed to anything is because you wouldn't shut up being a noble hero. We just want to hurt her and make her suffer. Oh. I can't condone that. Well, We can't condone you. So it also one of them like knocks out Doormaker. I don't know if they necessarily killed him or if he's unconscious, but like, oh shit, we don't have portals anymore. That's pretty fucking bad. Well is gonna help Dr. Mother escape, which is very ironic. And that's pretty much how the arc ends. Like, I thought the interlude was okay. It's definitely not my favorite. You know, when I heard there was like the Dr. Mother interlude, I was really excited. And I was like, oh, this, okay. The stuff that happened is still good and interesting, don't get me wrong. But I didn't quite love it. I thought it was good. The rest of the arc, though, I loved. Again, just the absolute insanity of getting this final party together and who's in it. And I'm like, I'm just excited to see Canary. I want to see her do cool shit. I want to see how. I mean, I don't know if she was actually like her singing was super important in getting the Seaberg involved, or if that was just kind of a fun coincidence. I don't know if she gets to do like cool shit in the final fight. I hope so. That'd be neat as hell. But I think that's it. I'm now basically caught up as well to where I am in the story. I've read I think one chapter of 29. And now that I'm caught up on videos, I'm like, I can read the shit out of 29 this weekend. I don't know when I'll, like I said, I don't know when I'll, excuse me. I was saying yesterday, I don't exactly know when I will finish it. Sometime next week. It's only Friday, maybe even sooner. Probably sometime next week. And I would like to have Worm finished the week after. But depending on when I finish Venom, because I want to finish, like I've said, I want to finish the last two arcs either the same day or spec is a day. Teneral, I think is what 31 is. Finish the epilogue the day after. So we're soon. We're very, very close, very soon. I'm excited.